Welcome everyone again to the Athletes in Action experience here on the Edge Radio Network where truth still matters. I'm your host, Big Mel. As usual, we have my own Big Sonny, the great Lorenzo Johnson, your co-host. Say hello to the crowd this morning, Big Sonny.
Hello, everyone. Happy to be here.
Yes, indeed, we're happy to be here. It's a little rainy outside today, but Sonny, we were talking about the Stros, them Stros, baby. They're somehow surviving. We're proud of them. They come back, walk-off homer, if you will. Down 3-1 is a difficult task, irrespective of what sport you're in a 7-game series. It's only been accomplished 2 or 3 times, probably in the history of sports, in series events. What are the chances, man?
What's the series now?
They're 3-2.
3-2?
3-2.
Man, I always go with the home team, man.
Yeah.
I got to root for the Stros, even though I'm not a huge baseball fan. However, I would love to see them be successful in the series.
Yes, it's almost a redemption series, if you will, based on what the allegations were in the previous World Series. Who knows what the truth is about that? Who knows if it's typically just the way things are done.
Right.
If it's status quo in that league, who knows? But yeah, we're grateful for him, man. We want to see him do well with no questions attached to their performance.
I don't know about you, but for me, it's like I said, I'm not a huge baseball fan. But from a fan experience, it's better for me to be at the actual park, watching the game, as opposed to watching it on TV. Yeah. I can be better engaged in the game if I'm at the stadium.
Oh, it's no doubt.
Taking in everything.
It's no doubt.
As opposed to sitting there watching on TV, I'll probably be flipping through the channels.
It's the moral equivalent of watching grass grow sometimes.
Really?
They need to do something about that game and speed it up to make scoring more prolific, something, man.
Yeah.
You can sit there and go through a grueling 9 innings and the score is 1-0.
Yeah.
Like, my God. If that was football or basketball, the fans would have left at the first quarter.
Right. Right.
Yes. But no, we're happy for them. We're grateful for them, and we're feeling particularly blessed that they are able to accomplish what they have thus far. All right, switching sides a little bit. Talk a little basketball. I think we've talked a little bit since the World Championship. What do you think?
Before we go any further, I'd like to just kind of take a brief moment of silence. Rockets suffered a tragic loss yesterday with the loss of
Indeed.
Former longtime scout B.J. Johnson.
B.J. Johnson
passed away yesterday in a very tragic accident. Just
my God.
My thoughts, my prayers are with his family. I had a chance to get to know him.
You will remember that organization for a while.
Yes, and a dear friend, and it's a very sad moment for me, because I knew him.
Sure. His organization, man, obviously, he's going to be missed by so many. I'm seeing, various overtures to his family online and pictures of him popping up everywhere. Death is one of the most common recurring things in our lives, yet it always catches us flat-footed. Somehow, I'm not sure. It's the most recurring event. I think it's the finality of it, the sudden finality of it. No more. You see that person, no more, if you will, in this modern world. But as you mentioned, he was special to some people and be remembered, and it's our spirit, man, in the work we do that people speak of. And I read a quote somewhere where someone said that a person may forget what you said to them over time, but they will never forget how you made them feel. Yeah. So anybody who's had impact with you, obviously this man has with you, you'll never forget that. So our condolences to his family, to his friends, his associates. He's laid some planks for people to build on, to grow with. He's a scout. Is that correct?
Scout. Yeah. Very difficult job.
You bet.
You know, behind the scenes.
You bet.
You know, obviously reporting back very valuable information to higher ups to make decisions on drafting, free agents, such. Very, very critical position. You know, kind of where I coined the phrase, you know, out like a scout on a new route. You know, because they are all over the place.
Yes, they are.
Looking at you know, talent.
And they have to come back in and make the case for whatever recommendations, whatever kind of advice they're offering against someone else's opinion. And there's no objectivity to be had. Everybody's basing it on emotion.
Learn more. Go to findhealthbenefits.com or call 877-235-6094. 66% of seniors spend more time shopping for cable TV than Medicare plans. Most say because it's just too confusing. Laws change every year. The wrong plan could cost you thousands and prevent you from seeing the doctors you want. Introducing FindHealthBenefits.com. Save time, save money, see specialists without referrals. Go to FindHealthBenefits.com or call 877-235-6094 for this informative brochure.
Society is on the edge. Let's bring them back. Edge Radio, because truth still matters.
Are you a small business owner concerned about the downturn in the economy? Top business leaders like Mattress Mac and Warren Buffett will tell you that now is the time to promote your business more than ever. People need your services. Your business needs an edge. Learn about special advertising packages for small businesses right here on Edge Radio. Find out more, give us a call at 281-744-0446. That's 281-744-0446. Edge, because truth still matters.
And we're back, speaking with our special guest here today, an esteemed guest, Dr. Christy Yannick, Dr. KJ. And we were, at the break, we were discussing various ways that you therapize stress and athletes who are normal people who are facing stress and faced with biofeedback kinds of issues. And I had a question for you that I thought was rather curious. So
yeah, I'll take it from here. So according to my notes, if I read your story correct, you're kind of a rural kind of farm girl, right?
Yeah.
Learn how to handle firearms, welding instruments, and equipment growing up a bit uncommon. So how does this affect your worldview?
Yeah, so I grew up in a small town, more cows than people.
How many?
But more cows than people.
More cows.
Yeah, I grew up in a small town, born and raised country girl. You know, grew up baling hay with my dad on the back of a tractor.
Mercy.
Yep, if there wasn't a gun in my hand or a fishing pole in my hand, something was wrong.
Awesome.
But yeah, so I grew up in a small town, country life, how it has changed my worldview. And I would say being born and raised in the country and doing all those things.
And what's the name of that town?
El Campo, Texas.
El Campo,
Campo.
Texas. All right, shout out to El Campo.
Southwest.
Yes, go El Campo.
Southwest.
Carry on. My apologies.
And so I would say, you know, growing up, it really instilled this independency and this kind of mindset that I can do this myself, I can fix this, I got this, you know. And because we didn't really grow up with a whole lot of neighbors, and so it was kind of that natural tendency, like that independency. And so I would say growing up, it really gave me an independent kind of character. And it's a blessing and a curse. It's a good thing, but it's also, I always say, it's not a sign of weakness to ask for help, And now that I'm older, I look back and I would never, allow somebody to help me, or even if I needed it or whatever. I was never able to receive almost. And so now that I get older, I was becoming more aware of that why do I not appreciate help? Or I appreciate help, but why am I not able to receive help? And that kind of also came with my personal awareness of, it's not a sign of weakness to ask for help. It's actually a sign of strength and maturity, because that means, you're laying your pride aside. And even in, scripture, it says destruction comes after pride. And so I think that laying pride aside, and my advice to anybody who is very independent, or grew up independent, or doesn't like to receive help, is to open your heart and allow yourself to receive. I think the 3 amazing qualities of love is to be loved, to give love, and to receive love. And when we receive love, we're able to pour it out back into the world with a filled cup. And so I think that is kind of the mindset I had growing up. But then also as I got older, I realized my independent character, it was a good thing, but also, hey, lay that pride aside and be willing to receive help,
There you go. It's interesting. Awesome. At the point that you decided to become an entrepreneur, what were the drivers, and were there any drawbacks? What were the drawbacks?
Yeah, so in college I was pursuing my physical therapy degree, and I know I just remember sitting in the parking lot after hospital clinical or shift or whatever, and I just felt like there was so much more out there for me. I felt like me being tied to a certain 9 to 5, it just didn't fill me up, and I felt like my heart desired so much more, that I felt like I could do so much more, and that idea of becoming my own boss in some way came about then, but I didn't know what I wanted to do. I didn't know what kind of entrepreneurship I wanted to fulfill. And I knew I always had a passion for therapy, and I knew I always loved helping people. And so those 2 things put together kind of helped me to navigate. It kind of is my compass, and identifying what you love, what fills you up is number 1. And if you're trying to find your purpose, identifying what fills you up, what are you passionate about, is key to finding that. And so that kind of came about, that idea, when I was in college and pursuing my physical therapy. I just felt like there was so much more out there, and that I just felt like God was calling me to be my own boss, and that I could help people on a much larger scale that way when I could do that. And so that was always kind of my goal.
Awesome. That's awesome. Next question. As a member of the world-class concept like Athletes United, you are undoubtedly cutting edge. Can you explain to us how being an athlete has molded your business behavior?
And we like to think of ourselves as cutting edge.
Cutting edge. Athletes United.
Athletes United.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Honestly, in this new season that I'm walking through, or I still consider it kind of new somewhat, I find myself referring back to my time as an athlete and my season as an athlete, and I think that it taught me a lot. It taught me endurance, it taught me perseverance, it taught me to not give up when things get hard, but to push harder. And there's 2 types of decisions we can make. We can push through the pain, or we can sit in it. And so I think and both are pain. If we give up, that's painful, but if we push through, even when it's hard and painful, that is perseverance. And it, being an athlete taught me both of those: perseverance, endurance. It taught me willpower, it taught me discipline, and it showed me that I can really do anything that I put my mind to, and that when you train your mental state, and you train your mind every day to not act out of emotion, but to do the hard things. Sometimes you just got to do the hard things, or just do it, as Nike says. But I think being an athlete really plays a prominent role in owning a business today, especially in what I do, and especially in leading other people. It taught me how to be a better leader. It taught me how to be mentally strong, not only that, but physically strong. And so I think that being an athlete has had a huge role, and I could go on and on about that.
Well, there, you spoke that word we talk about a great deal.
Yeah, I noticed the key words you mentioned, and I think we got 2 minutes before we go to break, but I would love for you to expand on that. You said this season that I'm in. Can you kind of speak to that?
Yeah, so this current season that I'm in, I currently relocated my office and currently new to the North Houston area, and so I just felt, I felt called to the North Houston area, Woodlands, Texas, and I knew that the Lord was calling me there, and so I told him, all right, Lord, if you want me to live there, then you got to move my office first. And lo and behold, he opens that door, and so I take that leap of faith, just walking on a word, and I have full faith that this is exactly where I'm supposed to be, in the Woodlands, Texas, North Houston area. And so that is kind of the season that I'm in right now, is just in a push season, in a growing season, in a new season. Ultimately, it's a new environment, new experiences, everything. So it's amazing.
Take us in the break.
It's been a pleasure, as well as an education, speaking with you this morning, Doc. And we ask that you please come back and update us sometime. Can you please?
Yes,
all right.
absolutely. I would love to. I enjoyed it, Mel.
We enjoyed you, son.
Yes,
what do you think?
We certainly enjoyed you. I mean, very powerful. I had to stop you by the season. I was taking a little few notes here as you were going, so I think you shared some very good stuff.
Oh, sure. Very insightful.
Certainly appreciate it.
Dr. Christy Yannick, ladies and gentlemen, Ms. Christy Yannick, please come back again.
Yes, I would love to. Thank you so much.
And we're
Between the ages of 0 and 5, a child's mind is very impressionable. Researchers call it the theta brainwave. This low frequency is the state of consciousness between the conscious and subconscious worlds. In this state, the mind is capable of deep and profound learning, healing, and growth. There is a subconscious loop that's created during these early years. Who you believe you are has been downloaded based on experiences that you have had. A bad experience could create fears and limitations. Do you love who you are? Do you believe in yourself? The reality is that you can't control your childhood. All you can do is interpret it. You can choose to see your good and your value. Try this experiment. Project forward. See yourself at 80 years old. Now you have lived a lifetime. What advice would you have for your younger self? What risks would you have taken? What relationships would you have avoided? Did you celebrate life? Did you allow yourself to feel, to be present? Your 80-year-old self would tell you to not live in fear, to have faith that things will work out, that all you have to do is persist until you succeed. Your 80-year-old self would tell you to stay healthy, to take care of your body. And it would ultimately tell you to share your gifts with the world.
When people stop talking to each other, society is on the edge. Let's bring them back. Edge Radio, because truth still matters.
Are you a small business owner concerned about the downturn in the economy? Top business leaders like Mattress Mac and Warren Buffett will tell you that now is the time to promote your business more than ever. People need your services. Your business needs an edge. Learn about special advertising packages for small businesses right here on Edge Radio. Find out more, give us a call at 281-744-0446. That's 281-744-0446. Edge, because truth still matters.
Brittany, can you hear me? say your name again.
Brittany.
All right, say your name again.
Brittany.
It's not picking up. Everything looks normal over here, Brittany. Your levels are up. We're picking up on the audio. We've got good video, but somehow it's not translating to our headsets. Wow. You sure you didn't put some of that? Huh? Really? Uh-huh. It's not coming through. Are you sure you didn't put some of that old Miss magic on us or something? No? I'm not sure. Yeah, when you speak, we see on the producer's sound scale, we see your numbers going up, and somehow it's not translating.
Mm-hmm.
See, if you'd just been a Roll Tide graduate, or LSU graduate, everything would have worked out perfect. As you look on your screen, all you see is our logo, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So everything's normal. Sonny, I don't know what's going on. Let's get that up.
Take off speaker and just kind of talk to it.
All right, I'll tell you what, Brittany. We're going to do this extemporaneously, all right? And we're going to do this right off of our cell phone directly to you.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah, make it like she's calling in.
Yeah, so you'll look like a call-in. That's what it amounts to. And we'll keep you on screen. How about that? All right, perfect.
We don't need
Good.
the headphones there, right?
No. So welcome, everyone, to the second segment of Athletes United Experience here on the Edge Radio Network, where truth still matters. We're speaking to a young lady here today, entrepreneur and not a recent college graduate, a few years ago, I suppose, who's developed a rather interesting business model. And it is known as the Honey Brash. You're going to have to explain that one to us, Brittany, all right? But give us some sense of what this is and what it does for your clients. Really? So whatever a client may need that would aid and assist them in perpetuating their brand and creating public awareness, you're the expert. Really? That's great. That's great. How did you strike up on an idea? Yes, and I mean, it came out of what experience? I mean, how would you cite this?
I've been working professionally for an architecture firm for about 3.5 years.
Uh-huh.
And I've been doing their graphic design, their marketing, and I just had a really strong mentor from that job that kind of helped push me in the direction of, hey, you can do this, like, for other people too,
I see.
You really, so
Huh.
it just kind of went from there. And I've had a lot of support, and it's been really great. It's been a really great experience so far.
And so one day you decide, I know what I'll do. I'll just go out on my own and get me a dog and do this whole thing by myself. Right? Very attentive dog. I might add that. As you went into business, as you decided to pursue this, how did you know who to talk to, or who to prospect, or who would be an excellent fit for your services?
So my previous employer, actually, we flipped it to where they became my first client. So that really worked out pretty well.
Oh, that's perfect.
And then I started reaching out to people in the community, like the local library, and a couple of other people, business owners, that they just needed a little helping hand. With some stuff. So, yeah, it just kind of snowballed from there.
So if Athletes United, for example, if we needed, what, Sonny?
Brochures. Website design, development.
Yes.
Are you capable of that?
Yes, I am. My big goal is to, I don't want to just put my stamp on you. I want to work with you. Sorry, there's a little bit of an echo.
We're getting the feedback there somehow. Is that better? Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Sorry about that. My big goal is to help with you and get a sense of who you are and how we can really tell your story through whatever it is, through design. I never want to just take it over and put my mark on things because that's not you. So it's really important to me to figure out who you are and how I can help you showcase that and what's really special about you.
Okay. We're getting some feedback from some strange angle. But go ahead. That just. Go ahead. That, you were saying so. Go ahead, Brenda. I'm sorry we interrupted. Okay.
I was just saying that it's really important for me to work with you and really get your story out there and not make it about me, it's about you.
I see. So you build a campaign, some kind of PR push, just based on a company or entrepreneur's model, his story, whatever it is they're trying to present to the public. Do I understand that correctly? That must be correct. Yeah. All right, very good.
Where might one find your information? Do you have a website? Is there anything you'd like to share to our viewers of how they can get in touch with you?
I'm strictly online. I do like doing Zoom calls. If that's how you want to do it, but you can just give me a call. The phone number is 662-769-2499. And I also have a website, honeybrash.com, that has a good contact form.
Honeybrash.com.
Yeah. And what's that number again? And I'll repeat it.
And let's repeat that number again.
What's the number again? And I'll repeat that.
662
662
769
769
2499.
2499. Give her a call, ladies and gentlemen.
Call me. But if we could just take a moment of liberty here. We had a previous guest on who wasn't able to get her website and web pages pronounced and announced. So we're going to do that for here for a second. If you do that, Sonny, give us some idea of what that site is.
Yes, sir. So her website is nirvanabiotherapy.com. That's NIRVANA biotherapy biotherapy.com. Her Instagram is nirvana.therapy. Holistic Health Wellness at Christy Lynn / fitness. And her Facebook, you can find her, Christy Janik. All right.
Okay, very good. Very good. Brittany, you're located where precisely, and not that it would be critical to a client's needs, but where are you located, per se?
Right now I'm in Starkville, Mississippi.
Starkville.
Mississippi, the great state of Mississippi, huh? Starkville. I'm from Mississippi myself. So shout out to Mississippi. You a Bulldog fan?
I misunderstood. I thought you were in the home of Ole Miss, which would be Oxford, right?
Right. That's right.
Yeah. Now that's
You say, oh no.
That's anathema around Starkville, correct?
Oh no.
I understand. I do understand.
It's awesome.
You're developing a strong business concept out of there. We're wishing you a lot of good luck and good fortune going forward. We want to have you come back to the program where we have the technical issues sort of mastered and update us on what's going on. Is that okay, Brittany? Okay. And in full disclosure to our viewing audience, Brittany's mother, a lovely young lady named Kimberly, was once, we worked together professionally before in a major corporation around the Houston area. I won't bother to go into the details. But a delightful human being. I had met this young lady when she was approximately, 8, 9 years old?
Oh, wow.
Could you have been that old at the time?
Probably younger than that.
But much younger than that. And we had to work one Saturday morning. I had to ask Kimberly to come in and work one Saturday morning. And she brought Brittany with her. And somewhere along the way, Brittany wrote me a ransom note. You need to let my mom out of here. I thought that was so cute. I reminded her mom of that ever since.
That's awesome.
Brittany, a great best wishes going forward, and we want to have you back as soon as you can. That'd be all right with you. Okay, thank you. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.
Right. Bye-bye. Wow. We'll figure this out somehow. Whatever happens. There's no chance this was a new guest.
With me, because a guy came in yesterday and he reconfigured it, a couple of audio parameters, and that should have fixed it. So I'm not sure what the issue is. Like I said, like the meter's moving, the level's moving, but I wasn't hearing anything with that.
You weren't on it.
And everything was good on her end?